Hey, hello, CareonClick team. It's Mo. And guess what? I finally have the customization working. It looks like a lot of work, but it's really not that much work. It's just understanding where all the pieces are meant to be. Once I figured out the correct order, it made sense. Anyway, let me give you a quick tutorial to help you get started. So to understand how everything's organized, I highly recommend that you look in the documentation. I'm looking at the documentation for 5.0 for Bootstrap, and there is a page titled SAS. So you may remember that I mentioned that Bootstrap uses SAS or SCSS. They are compiled CSS style sheets. And the reason they do this is to simplify and reuse. They define variables, and here they say maps and mixins and other functions that all get imported into the CSS, the Bootstrap CSS file. So if you come down here a little bit, it talks to you about how to set up your file structure. So in our project, CareonClick, we now have a folder called SCSS, and in it, there's a single file called custom SCSS. I jumped down to the second example. I didn't yet set up what's called a package manager. And what that is just a set of like automation utilities to help you pull down the files that you need. You'll hear things called node modules. So what I did is instead I just manually downloaded the Bootstrap files, and I got those from the Getting Started page. So I won't go through that download again, but if you're curious where I got the files from, that was from this Getting Started page up here. So anyway, I created locally a file structure under CareonClick with a folder SCSS. Custom SCSS is underneath that folder. And then I put all of the Bootstrap files into a Bootstrap folder. So let's go over and take a quick look. I am using Mac, so I'm going to go over to my Finder. And here's the CareonClick folder. And under that, you see an SCSS folder with a custom SCSS file. And under that are all of the Bootstrap files, literally all of them. So we're going to be pulling in the Bootstrap CSS file, and that will get compiled from our custom SCSS file. So let me show you how I did that. Go back here momentarily. Okay. So in the custom SCSS file, we need to import all of Bootstrap's SAS files or SCSS. You can use those interchangeably. Last week, I told you I was quite frustrated. I had chosen option A here, where you can just import everything. Makes it really simple, import everything. However, what I discovered this week is I was trying to override some of the variables which were defining the colors, and that was my mistake. So in order to override those variables, those overrides must come after you import the functions, but before you import the remaining Bootstrap SCSS files. So that's where I made my mistake last week. And I'm happy to say, even though it's a little bit more work, including everything, I do now have the customized styling. At least I've got the color red for the navbar link showing up. But just wanted to demonstrate to you how we can customize that. So once that is all in place, then you can modify literally anything in Bootstrap. So we don't want to modify the Bootstrap files themselves because, God forbid, we introduce an error in the changes. It'll be difficult for us to back out those changes. Also, I want to point out that in the SAS files, the variables, they have this flag called default. that allows you to override the default value. So in SCSS, this flag !default indicates that this is the default value, and then you're allowed to override them. So the variables are all defined in this file, SCSS variables, SCSS. Let's go take a quick look at that. In Finder. So in Bootstrap, we're going to go down to SCSS. Maybe. Okay. And then you'll see here, we'll find the variables are here. All right, I think I went right past them. Okay, so the variables SCSS file. And this is where we found our colors. And you may remember that when we were going from the Chrome developer tools and drilling down into the colors, we saw that it was coming from the navbar SCSS file. So that I have open over here. Let's see what color they were using. So when I looked at, we are using navbar light. So I think I want to go backwards. Try it, start from the top. So I'm going to skip over this one with the brand color. We're using this navbar nav, and we have it set to the light theme. So our color that we're using is navbar light color. And so what I did is I went in. Let's see, we could see that that was like a light or a dark gray. So what we can do is you can look in here. I don't know what I just did. I hope I didn't enter. Okay. So we're going to search for navbar light. And here is the navbar light color. So actually what they were doing is they're using black as their base, and then they're using a 55% filter on it. So we're seeing that dark gray color up here. And that is what we were seeing in Chrome. I wish I could show that to you right now because I have overridden it. It's going to come up red. So let's see. How did I go about customizing this? So here is an example that changes the background color and the color for the body. And what they've done is, in order, they've imported the functions, and then after that, they overrode these variables. The body background color is black, and the body foreground color is white. Okay? And then after that, they import everything else. So I will show you going over here to the custom CSS file. So in our SCSS, we have our custom CSS file, and this is where I have my override. So at first, I import the functions, okay? And then I've overrode two different of the navbar colors, or the nav tabs and the navbar light color. I set those to red. I figured I would put a color that is easily identifiable when we open it up in the browser. And then I needed to include the remaining Bootstrap style sheets, which is quite a bit. The recommendation is that you include the entire stack of SCSS imports from Bootstrap. And then when you figure out what you don't need, then you can remove it. So quite a lengthy list. We can figure out which of these we don't need so that we could then later remove it. But it is quite long to start. And I got that list. Let's go over here under Bootstrap. And if you go to SCSS, and if you go into the Bootstrap SCSS, and you can see they have these imports. Now, because they're in the same folder, they're able to just import without the full path. So I needed to take that into account and define the path pointing down to this Bootstrap folder. So that is where in custom SCSS, you see the ... So from the current directory going out to Bootstrap 5.0.0 beta 2, I could have shortened the name, SCSS in batch. Also, I'd like to point out that if you look in that Bootstrap folder, you'll see that many of them have an underscore at the beginning. And it's okay. I discovered that I did not need that underscore in my import statement. So here's navbar. So I was able just to import Bootstrap 5.0 beta 2 SCSS navbar. And that is pulling in this file here that I showed you earlier. I'm going to pause for one moment. I will be right back. Hi girls, I'm back. I just needed to get some water. So now let me show you how I am then including this customization into CareonClick. So let's go over here to our carousel. I think I still have it open here. And at the top of carousel, just like we had done prior, is we are going to include the Bootstrap CSS file directly from our folder directory underneath the project. So I have a link to the Bootstrap 5.0 folder, and you want to pull it from this dist or distribution folder, CSS, Bootstrap CSS. So it's as simple as that. And then what that's going to do is it's going to pick up our customization. So I've commented out where we were pulling in the Bootstrap CSS file from the server. We're no longer using the server version, but the local version, okay? So now comes a little bit of a tricky part, not too bad, kind of fun. If you're a developer, you'll enjoy this. So in the custom SCSS, so I've imported all of Bootstrap CSS files, more than I need, but that's okay. We can remove them later. And in here, oh, excuse me. So in here, there's some additional custom styling that we had. And as you see, previously we had a test for navlink. And that actually does show up later. I will demonstrate that momentarily. Let's go back to the top. So again, I have my colors that I've defined to override the navbar light color to red, as well as the nav tabs link active color to red. Okay, so as you notice, we are in custom SCSS. That's not a CSS file. This is an SCSS file, and it needs to get compiled. So how do we do that? Okay, so I will give you a link to this. There is a tool called Dart, and this is just very simple compilation of SAS files or SCSS files, okay? And you need to install this locally to your machine, and you're gonna run this command right here, SAS, and you're gonna give it the source folder, the SCSS file that you're compiling, and the output folder of where you want the CSS file to go, okay? So let me show you that. I am on Mac, and I am using the terminal. Let me see if I can zoom in. I think I can make it bigger. Maybe not. I thought I could make, oh, here, font. Maybe I can, oh, 11 points. I can change it. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Character spacing, line spacing, all fonts. So it looks like 11 might be the maximum. No, maybe I can go 14. See if that works. I'm not sure it took it yet. Let's try 16. All right, let's see if, I'm not sure that's, doesn't look any bigger, but it was worth a try. So I'm going to go in from my terminal. If you take a look, PWD shows you the directory that you're in. So I'm in users mode craft, and I just know that I have our project folder under documents, GitHub, CareonClick. Okay, so this is our project folder. I can show you what it looks like here. And as you see, we have our carousel HTML file, then we have a folder SCSS, and we have the folder Bootstrap 5.0 Beta 2, okay? And in order to get our customized SCSS compiled into this Bootstrap folder, I'm going to issue the Dart command. See if I still have it in my memory here. Okay, there we go. So the command is simply sass, and then in the SCSS folder is the custom SCSS that's going to be the input, and the output is going to go to the Bootstrap 5 folder under the dist CSS Bootstrap CSS. It just takes a matter of seconds to run, and I can show you. Actually, let's go over to the Finder. It'll be easier to see. Okay, and if we go over to, so we're in the Bootstrap, we want to go into the dist folder, which stands for distribution, and here's the CSS folder, and you can look and see today at 5:41 p.m., which it is right now, we have a brand new Bootstrap CSS. As well, we have a Bootstrap CSS map file. One thing I still want to figure out is how to minify it. So as you see, the minified version, it has not been updated. So I'm going to look for utility to minify, and that's just to help strip out unnecessary white space and other comments, just to make it more perform more quickly. All right, so now that it's compiled, now we can go out and we can test our application. Okay, let's go over here. I have Carousel open here. Okay, aha, look at that. When I hover over, it turns black. I think that's picking up the nav link color, but when it's at, by default, it's showing red. So it's going to be really interesting because I want to try to get to the inspect. So I'm hovering over. And I'm going to look at the styles. Here we go. Look at that. Nav bar light, nav bar nav link, and it's red. So we have successfully overrode the nav bar light color. Woohoo! So excited.